Yo, we are back.
Sirree.
We are back and ready to go.
nice little staycation, rest and recover, up and at 'em.
That's
ready
right.
to get it.
But since we did take the week off, we got some catching up to do. So
Yeah.
I think we need to jump right into it.
Just get right to it. Yeah, let's do it.
So we got a lot of race results to go over last 2 weekends. A lot of classics. An FKT, one that went across the state of Michigan, which is kind of cool. And some PCT FKTs that are in progress, and also a John Kelly update on the AT. Hint, he is crushing it.
He is on fire.
It is unbelievable. We'll get into it. We got some news. Someone famous, not from the not famous as like an elite ultra runner, but someone famous has made it off the wait list for states. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Talk about that. We'll talk about another update in the state's insurance. Someone that had to back out, which is more talent, not going to be in it, but we'll talk about that. We're going to go over AJW's annual. He has an article every year about storylines and predictions for Western states. So we're going to look through that and see what he has to say. And then the Ultrarunning Magazine stats for the month of May for ultra running are out. So we'll go over those. And,
it's fun.
Yeah. And then the 3 T's, we're going to talk about the night before. How do you approach the night before a big race? We did, we talked about training before in our 3 T's, and we did kind of get all the way up to the night before, and we did talk about it. But as I mentioned then, we could have a whole 3 T's just about the night before. So
yeah,
I think we're going to dive a little deeper into that. And what made me think of that, our listener, Robert, one that interacts with us a lot on social media. He has 6 Days in the Dome coming up. I believe it starts on Monday. So want to wish him the best of luck in that, and maybe see what he's going to do the night before running for 6 days.
I have thoughts on that, but we'll hold off on him.
Yeah, just a little loop around the track.
Just a little loop. Just a lot of little loops.
A lot of little loops, which I can kind of get behind. Like, I don't know, for the sadistic part of me seems to think that, I don't know, it might be cool, but I don't know. It'd probably be tough after like the first 30 loops, and you're like, oh man, this reality's setting in. But all right, let me go ahead and share my screen. The first race that we are going to talk about is Johnny's White Whale.
Man, daggone.
Yep, and that is Old Dominion.
Old Dominion.
I gotta make sure we get the right week pulled up. So I have 2 weekends to talk about. So, anyways, this is Johnny's White Whale.
That's not Old Dominion.
No, that's McKenzie River. Old Dominion.
Oh, you're doing yeah.
It's the 47th year for Old Dominion. Okay, and some say it may be the longest continuous running 100-mile race, because Western States in the early years wasn't exactly 100 miles. So Old Dominion's been going on. It's a lot of like nice dirt road, and then there's some smaller but gnarlier sections of single track as well. I think it's around like 15 or 16,000 feet of gain, if I'm not mistaken.
Like 13, 13 up.
Which is still pretty significant considering that you have to finish in 24 hours to get a buckle. you have to finish in 28 hours for it to be considered a finish. And I think you get a duffel bag or something?
Like the most shitty 1980s, 1970s gym bag you've ever seen in your life.
I kind of love that, though.
I mean, I love it. God, that race, man. Fuck this race.
No, like, I'm really intrigued, but I know I'm about a lot of stuff, but that.
Yeah, it is just.
The idea of it.
Yeah, it is a man, oh man.
They call it a cross country race, which I can totally get down with. I ran cross country in high school for 3 years, and I just like that ambiance. But we had some fast times this year. The winner, Andrew Simpson, went 15:33, and that's the third fastest male time in the race. I think he was second last year and came back and won. John Kelly was first last year, I believe. And Whitney Richmond won for the women in 18:39, and she was third overall, and that was the second fastest female time ever in Old Dominion. So in the 47 years to lay down the third fastest male time and the second fastest female time is pretty impressive. But this is one that, the record was set by oh God, why am I blanking now?
For the men?
Yeah.
Eric Clifton.
Yes, Eric Clifton, a legend, has the record since like 1987 or something?
92.
92. Okay.
Yeah.
Still,
what's crazy is Andrew. I mean, like, Andrew wasn't really even close to a kind of sort of, in my opinion. I mean, he was 23 minutes off from it. The record's 15:10.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that's kind of wild is because of the style of this race, like the course. I don't know this definitively. Like I am assuming, but the race that Eric ran is probably the same race Andrew ran. Like this race, I do not believe. Maybe with slight tweaks.
There might be. I think I did read on Ken Seal's article. There's been some variation, but I don't think that it's been significant. Not significant enough to affect the times.
It's not like Mohican, like we were talking about, where oh, holy hell, those records are tough to get because of what they were.
Because of all that road and
Old Dominion has always been a lot of road. And it's always been, start on the horse track, go up the fucking mountain, down into the valley, up it, down it, back up the fucking valley, back up the wall, back to the horse track. It's always been that. It's
and the second place male and second overall was Scott Gleason in 18:34. If that tells you anything, Andrew finished 3 hours ahead of second place.
He was cooking.
So it's smoking.
I think they got a little bit of rain down there this year.
Ooh, maybe.
And like that might have. For that race, I can see that helping. I can also see that where, like, because you know how it depends on like the amount of rain that you get. Because if you get just the right amount of rain and then it sits and it just it's almost like a pressure cooker. You know what I mean? Like it gets all that steam and humidity. Because there is a pretty significant stretch from mile 20, from mile 20 to the 50K mark. There's a pretty good stretch in through there that you are on blacktop. I mean,
really?
Blacktop. And like what's crazy is last year that thing kicked my ass. They had just freshly paved that motherfucker. Dude, it was so effing hot on that stupid ass blacktop. But like there's a part of that right there. And I mean, these guys are fast enough. They're probably hitting that, in the morning still. But like, that race, man, it's an interesting one. So if they got a little bit of rain, it probably helped them out quite a bit.
Yep. And the second place female was Justina Wilson in 1910. So yeah, I imagine a little rain would help tamp down the dust and stuff from those dirt roads, which would kind of be nice. But the humidity it brings would not be fun.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to jump into our next race, San Diego 100, another classic, been going on for 24 years now.
Yeah.
This race takes place east of San Diego in the mountains. It's high desert. It's hot as fuck. I went out there. We were in San Diego once. We rented a place out there kind of by where San Diego 100 is, maybe like 45 minutes from it. And we actually went to go hiking in that area. And it was in May. And I remember it just being like almost unbearable. But
really,
yeah. And then they run this race in June, so
just like let it cook.
You can do the math.
Let it cook for one extra month and then get after it.
Yeah. So I think it was really hot this year because it was very hot inland California. It was up to like 114 in some areas. So I don't know what it was down there, but I imagine it was hot. There was a 59% finisher rate.
Oh my God.
135 people did finish though. Rob King was first in 1950. Jason Baker, 2020 for second. Brianna Grigsby was first for the women and third overall in 20 hours and 22 minutes. And Gian Springer was second for the women in 22:59. So that's at Lake Cuyamaca in California.
I wonder how much hotter. Is it a? Let me ask you this: it's high desert, so is it a dry heat?
Yeah, it is. It's a very dry heat. Yeah.
So, all right. Here's why I ask. Just comparing San Diego to Old Dominion, both have 13,000 feet of climb, right? Both one is hot, a dry heat. The other one is a humid heat. I would guess San Diego is a couple of degrees warmer, but very obviously Old Dominion is much more humid. Here's the wild thing. San Diego gives you 32 hours of cutoff. Old Dominion's like, fuck off. You get 28. Figure it out.
Right.
Holy hell.
Right.
I mean.
Yeah, that's true. So I looked it up. It looks like they saw temperatures over 100.
Ooh, that's hot. That is hot.
Yeah.
Damn, that's hot. I don't care if it's a dry heat or not. That's hot as fuck.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, AI is not always right, but I imagine it was up near there anyway.
Yeah.
All right, next race we're going to talk about, and these races were from 2 weekends ago, or a week and a half ago, the weekend of June 7th. McKenzie River Trail. This is an interesting one because a friend of mine, Dave, he's married to Jessica Meeker. I don't know if you remember Jessica.
Oh, yeah.
Toledo runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, she moved out to California kind of about the same time I did. And she ended up marrying this guy, Dave Moore, who's a really great guy. And he posted on Strava that he did this McKenzie River Trail 50K. And he said it was miserable. He said,
really?
It was 95 degrees. And this is a point to point along the river.
Yeah.
But he said there was all kinds of roots and rocks, and it was super hot. So he said it's they don't tell you about the heat and the roots and rocks or something to that effect.
Interesting.
But anyway, it's a point to point scenic course. I heard and this is Oregon's oldest ultra. It's been going since 1988.
That in itself is really cool. That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, it's a classic. I guess there's views of lava flows and waterfalls, but the winning woman was Caroline Alcorta, and she set a course record for the women, and she was third overall in a time of 3 hours and 52 minutes. She beat Megan Canfield's record of 3 hours and 58 minutes, which was set in 2007. So almost a 20-year record that Caroline broke. And first for the men was Joshua Park in 3 hours and 30 minutes. Mario Mendoza was second, 3:44. And then second for the women was Rachel Peters in 4:33. So,
dude, this thing looks like a absolute blast to run.
Yeah.
The elevation chart on this thing, like it is just it just
it's not it doesn't have a lot of climbing.
It has almost no climbing. It has a shit ton of descent though. That thing's bottom drops out of it and you're off and ripping.
Oh, is that a net downhill?
Dude, it's not a net downhill. That thing is all downhill. There's a I don't know, like a 600-foot climb over the first 7.5 miles. But after that, it is all downhill except for like 2 little hiccups.
Looks like a nice area to start.
Dude, it looks beautiful. I wonder, it's obviously along McKenzie River, but I kind of wonder, like...
That trail looks nice.
Yeah, I don't see... It's so funny, like, I feel, and like, it's always funny when I see stuff from out in Oregon, like, super technical. I'm like, I can't wait. Like, I cannot wait to get some races in Oregon just to have, like, a barometer of what is technical and organized versus what's technical on the East Coast. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I'm really intrigued by that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, shit, that looks like it's paved right there.
Yeah, it does. I know, like, sometimes trails along rivers can be, like, pretty rooty.
Oh, yeah, they can be gnarly as shit. Yeah. But in my head, I'm used to, like, along Kokosing, you know what I mean? Where, like, there's giant rocks, and if you catch a toe on one of them, you're either going to have a fucking split open dome or you're going to fall into the river. Like, those are literally your own two options. You're going to,
I just think of the trail along the Mohican River, that stretch, that 4 mile stretch. Like,
yeah.
It's nice when you get closer to like the campground, but from when you're leaving from Covered Bridge, and after you get out of that campground onto that single track, it's like super technical.
Yeah, it's insane. Blue River, Oregon. All right, I'm gonna look this up where it's at, but then we can jump to our next race because we're packed.
Yep, sounds good.
Blue River, Oregon.
I don't think that's too far north of the California. Well,
you think that's pretty far south?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know where the McKenzie River is. Oh, I see it here.
Dude, this place is literally just a dot in the middle of green.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's just a little southeast of Corvallis. It's southeast of Corvallis and northeast of Eugene.
Oh,
so this is out along the mountain range. So
dude, that is remote.
Dude, that is in the middle of effing nowhere. Like, that is like. I mean, I don't want to like flag get put on any kind of watch list, but that's where you leave a body and like that is crazy.
Yeah,
it's also out there by Sister. Like, there's South Sister. I guess like this would be a super cool place to.
Yeah. Let's see.
That is so remote. It's ridiculous.
It's like north. Yeah, like just west of South Sister. You could go from Eugene and just drive on that main road there. And you'll run into McKenzie Highway.
Yep. That is super cool, man. I bet I would be willing to bet the views are absolutely amazing out there.
Guaranteed. All right. Let's jump to one of the, or no, actually, probably the longest running ultra marathon in the world, which is Comrades.
Oh yeah.
And I need to. Okay. So Comrades is in Pietermaritzburg, South Africa, and it's 56 miles. It's an 89K, and every year they alternate. It's either an up year, which has more climbing, or it's a down year, which has more descent. And then this year was a down year. This is the 98th year for Comrades. It's a road race. It's a road race. I think it's paved and dirt roads, or maybe there isn't even dirt road. It might be all paved. I'm not sure, but it's all road. I know that. There was over 22,000 runners. Huge ass event. Total prize purse was 427,000 at Comrades this year. So I don't know how many places they pay out, but that's a lot, man. That's like, like a big time marathon.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the most popular races in the world for sure. It was started in the early 1900s to, I think they were like honoring the Comrades back then. So in the women's race, heavy favorite Gerda Stein from South Africa. She lives in the United Arab Emirates right now, but she won the race for the 4th time, and it was actually her 3rd in a row. And she took the lead just before halfway and held off a late race charge from Alexandria Morozova from Russia, who was the 2022 winner. And Stein ended up winning by over 4 minutes. And then in the men's race, Tiet Dijana from South Africa and Piet Wiersma from the Netherlands had won the last 3 Comrades races. Dijana was 2022 and 2023. Wiersma was in 2024. So those two were battling it out again this year. And Dijana made a push from 15K out, and Wiersma couldn't regain the lead. Both finished in 5 hours and 25 minutes.
God.
Dijon was 5 seconds in front of Wiersma. Then, Nikola Volkov from Russia ran a strong second half of the race to move up to 3rd place in 5:29. 3rd for the women was Shelmith Maruki from Kenya in 6:07. So Comrades is just one of those famous races that you just, you have, if you're talking about race results and news, you have to bring it up, right? There's been some elite Americans that have done well over there, like Camille Herron and some others. And then I think Ellie Greenwood, or why am I drawing a blank now? Ellie Greenwood. Ellie Greenwood. She's from Canada. She's the was the Western States record holder for quite a while, but she's done well over there in the past. I can remember. But all right, let's talk about Scout Mountain. Scout Mountain is an up and coming race, and I'm not sure how long this race has been going on, but it's becoming pretty popular these days. It's in the Bannock Range which is south of Pocatello, Idaho. And I've always wanted to run a race in Idaho just because I've been to Idaho once for work a long time ago. And it's just awesome, man. Like Boise is like right in the foothills of the mountains, and it's really cool. Scout Mountain is 22,000 feet of climbing, and Dalton McCurdy won in 25-23. Thaddeus Labrum. Dalton McCurdy, was that the first place female? Oops. That's right. Dalton McCurdy was first place female in 25:23, which is insanely fast. Thaddeus Labrum, 21:32 for the men, first place. So that's even crazy faster. 100 miles with 22,000 feet of climb in the Idaho mountains. That's moving. Speed Goat Carl Meltzer was also there.
Still there, still knocking them out.
Yeah, and doing quite well. He was in.
Yeah.
He took 6th place. And Megan Hicks was also there, the editor-in-chief of I Run Far. That was her first 100-miler in 3 years. So she said it was everything she'd hoped it would be and more. So also one that we talked about last week, trying to round up some volunteers or our last episode, we were trying to round up some volunteers is for the Huron 100, which is in Michigan, which kind of goes, through part of the course where Woodstock running races take place. But Huron 100 is a point to point, and it is on some really cool trails. So anyway, this is the second year for the race. Joanna Yelanin was first for the women in 22:14, and Nick Inslee won for the men in 18:29 and was first overall. All right.
I wonder what the weather was like for them. When that was just last weekend.
That was June 7th weekend.
Yeah.
So like a week and a half ago.
Oh yeah. Not the
I think they got some rain maybe.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
I think I remember seeing on Instagram that they had some rain, but
yeah.
I don't know. If anybody in Michigan's listening and they were at Huron 100,
let us know what it was like.
Reach out, man. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Threads. You can email us. Our email address is in the show notes. You can leave a comment on the podcast. You can leave a comment on YouTube. So plenty of ways to get hold of us. Let us know you're out there, people.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to June 15th weekend.
Couple classics.
Starting off with a super Midwest classic, Kettle Moraine. Yeah. Kettle Moraine is part of the Midwest Slam with Mohican, Burning River, and Indiana Trail. And why am I always blanking on the other one?
It's Kettle. It's Kettle, Mo, IT, and isn't it Vermont? Is it Vermont?
Burning River and Hallucination.
I think
there's 5. You can do 4 for the Grand Slam. You can do 5 for the Super Slam.
Yeah. Kettle Moraine is it is so funny, but I've just seen pictures of this course where I'm like, there's pictures of the course, and like there's only going to be a handful of people that get this reference. But running Plan Possum on top of the dam, how it's like that grass just on top of the dam.
Yep.
I've seen too many pictures of Kettle, and that's what it is. Just like running through a grassy trail, and I'm like, no. You know what I mean? Like, I am good. But it is super
I see what you're saying, but I do think it is a lot of Wisconsin single track. I think it's your classic Midwest, single track. I'm guessing it's a lot like the trails in Michigan that I used to run on when I lived there, at Pinckney Rec area and Island Lake Rec area and Pontiac Lake Rec area. Great places to run, by the way. Pontiac Lake is one of the most underrated areas to run in Michigan, in my opinion. But anyways, let's get back to Kettle Moraine 100. And it's the 28th year for this race. And first place went to Reese Slobodinuk, who set the course record, 14 hours and 15 seconds. So congrats on the course record. He took an hour off the previous course best.
Dude, what in the F?
28-year race.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That
record
crazy.
stood since 2009, by the way. And Brandon Teleski was second place for the men in 1706, and Dustin Parrish third, 1828. Emily Muz was first for the women, 1943, fifth overall. Lindsay Duffield, 2148 for the second place, and Mary Cronable was third, rounded out the podium in 2204. So Kettle Moraine, Midwest Classic.
I mean, it's not hilly, right? I mean, it has some rollers. It's a roller, elevation.
Oh yeah, it's classic Midwest. I guarantee you, it's a lot like the Michigan trails. Just rolling. I think I did read something how it was not any big climbs, but a lot of small climbs.
It's 100% just like those
that will punch you.
Yeah, those little douchey little climbs that you're like, damn, wait a second, I've been going uphill for a couple of seconds now.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty technical too. It said part of the course is a roller coaster of hills with small rocks and roots scattered about. Other sections are gently rolling with relatively smooth surfaces. The pine sections give you a soft bed of pine needles. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Hills are not long and or especially steep. They can take a tremendous toll on you if you attempt to run them. Yeah. There are many and scattered throughout the course. Silent killers is what one local calls them.
Yeah.
It's 80% wooded terrain. The rest is gentle prairie or marsh areas.
So yeah.
Those grass sections are probably those marsh areas.
Yeah. Now let's talk about technical. Here we go.
Okay. Laurel
Good
Highlands.
old Laurel. Yeah.
Laurel Highlands is another classic. This race, believe it or not, has been going for 46 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's one of the oldest races. It's got to be one of the oldest races in the United States. One of the oldest ultras. It's in Ohio, Pyle, Pennsylvania. I know this one is technical. It's in Rocksylvania, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Any race in Pennsylvania is brutal technical with rocks and roots. And Deanna Duane was the first place female, and she set the course record. So she's the first female to go under 13 hours. And this is a 70.5 mile race called Laurel Highlands. And she finished in 12:51:20. That was good for third overall. The second place female, Kaylee Frederick, which that name sounds familiar. Like, I think we've talked about her prior. She also went under the course record and finished in 13:12. So she was fifth overall. And Amy Stolman was third, 15:47. Blake Furman was the first place male and first place overall in 12:23. Jesse Irwin, 12:34 for second. And John Dragon was the third place male and fourth overall in 12:55. Cool name, John Dragon.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Tahoe 200 took place while we were on break. Tahoe 200 is no longer a loop course. That's
so fucking disappointing.
Yeah, they've had to alter it due to various reasons. I'm not really sure what all those reasons are. Reroutes because of fires or permits not able to be obtained. I'm not sure, but looks like there's a pretty huge out and back at the beginning, and then it goes up and around the lake, and then finishes down up in the northwest part of the lake.
So wait, all right. So where it's bouncing right now, that's the start line.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so
that's the finish line too. It's two out and backs. Sorry.
Hold up. All right, so you start there, right? You start there.
Yep.
And then what do? You go north.
I believe you go south.
All right, you go south, then you go back to the starting point, essentially. Then you go all the way north, right?
So you go south down here, to, I don't even know where the hell this is. This is like, yeah, I don't know. You just go, you go south, right, for a while, and then you go back north to the start line. With the start line looks like it's in South Lake Tahoe. It is. It's at South Lake Tahoe at the Heavenly Ski Resort. So that's like right next to the casinos and stuff.
Heavenly. I'm trying to remember what mile marker Heavenly was. I think was Heavenly like 100. I think year I did it.
You think it started and ended there?
No. It started.
100. Oh, I see. Because it was 200. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, the year I did it. It ended really, 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 really. Well, the year I did it, it started and finished, obviously, really close to where that northern turnaround point is.
Oh, okay.
Like if not there,
like Tahoe City.
Yeah, it was like right around in there.
Okay.
The year I did it is so, and like,
but yeah, it's two out and backs now.
Dude, and like, here's what sucks is on that west side of Lake Tahoe, basically what they've taken out is the Rubicon Trail. The Rubicon Trail's on that side. And I'm telling you, dude, that effing Rubicon Trail was just absolute horseshit. Like, that Rubicon Trail was absolutely insane. And so that's gone. Yeah, dude. You know what? Actually, scroll back out just a smidge. That might have been. I can't tell if that is.
I think we talked about this last year, how your race did drop down to this Tahoe City aid station, or maybe that was the start finish. I don't know.
I think that you know what? No, you know what? That is where I ate a quesadilla. That's like that was like mile one, probably like 175. Probably about mile 175. Then you go back up into the mountains.
Yeah.
And you finish at some ski resort a little further south.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, it's totally different now, but
that's a shame.
Still 200 miles in the mountains, so still tough race. Killian Korth was first for overall and for the men, 52:40, pretty fast. I had to look up the records, and the records are held by Kyle Curtin for the men and Courtney DeWalter for the women. And they both went under 50 hours in 2018. They were about 48 and some odd minutes. But Killian Korth was first, 52:40, and Annie Hughes was first for the women in 61:45. All right. Jumping. Oh my God, you still have that?
It just dawned on me. Like, 2017, by the way. I can never remember what year I did it. 2017.
You still have the runner's manual?
I don't know what just made me think of, like, wait a second, that's sitting right behind my head.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
There you go.
Good stuff. I don't know. The only thing I keep from my races is my buckles.
Yeah, I think I have that just because it was just so fucking diabolical.
Oh, it is diabolical, dude.
You know what I mean? I think I was like, oh, wait a second. And people have that. Well, now anything they ask me about it now is not really relevant. You know what I mean? I can tell them about the entire west side of or east side of it, but because I'm almost positive this is still the course we ran, right? It's just
they just couldn't go down the west side.
Yeah,
that would make sense. All right, let's jump into FKTs.
FKTs.
Michigan Shore to Shore Trail, and this is
kind of a cool one.
it's kind of cool, but what I'm going to tell you in a minute is going to make it not cool. I would never do it.
Oh shit.
But let's talk about this first, right? You're running across the northern lower peninsula of Michigan, right? It starts west of Traverse City at Lake Michigan, and it goes across the state of Michigan, finishes in Oscoda, where I think it's the Au Sable. Is it the Au Sable? One of the rivers dumps into, yes, the Au Sable River dumps into Lake Huron. I've canoed the Au Sable River, and it's pretty cool. There's actually a canoe race on the Au Sable River that starts in Grayling every year, and it goes to Oscoda, where it dumps into Lake Huron, and it's like an overnight race, and it's like
that's cool.
It is. It's a big party. I saw people training when I was out there canoeing, training for that race. But anyways, let's talk about this Michigan Shore to Shore Trail. It's an equestrian trail and hiking route that spans from Empire to Oscoda in the lower peninsula. It's a bunch of different terrains. There's single track, paved, dirt roads, ORV trails. There's good views of the Empire Bluffs in Lake Michigan. Trail passes through Lake Ann and Interlaken. Interlaken's a crazy little town, man. Like, there's a amphitheater. There's a music college, or maybe it's a high school. There's a music school in Interlaken, and they have an amphitheater. And I saw the Decemberists there, actually, because one of the band members actually went to Interlaken. Mayfield, Kalaska, scenic inland lakes, stretches on busy roads. From Kalaska, the route weaves to the middle of the state with refreshing river crossings like Goose Creek Trail Camp. And then it goes into more forested and hilly shaded areas, becoming more runnable. Trail goes through the Au Sable River Valley past Grayling, and numerous wildlife sightings, picturesque river views. The eastern portion features minimal road crossings and unique pine barrens habitat. The final segment takes you past South Branch Trail Camp. And then, like I said, it ends in Oscoda at the mouth of the Au Sable, where it meets Lake Huron. So, anyway, Michael Brower finished this. It's 223.8 miles with 7,283 feet of climb. He finished it in 2 days, 17 hours, and 57 minutes for the male-supported FKT. You go to his race report.
By a full day, dude. By a full day, he got that.
Oh, yeah, he crushed the FKT.
Yeah.
Well, the previous one was, what, 3
days and 11 hours or something like that, I think.
That's right. Yeah, 3 days. Yeah, 11 hours, 55 minutes. So he crushed it. You go to his race report, and he does have a bunch of pictures, which are cool. But this is the only thing his race report says. If I never see a tick again, it will be too soon. Same is true for horse trails. Beautiful scenery, but those trails are made for riding, not running. I'm guessing they were sandy. I don't know. Ticks, like, knock on wood, like when I was running a lot in Michigan, I never really had too many issues with ticks. But I think I've heard from a few people that they are really bad this year. I don't know if you've seen any in Ohio. But
I haven't seen any yet, but I have heard the same thing, that this is supposed to be a really bad year for them. Yeah, dude. I ticks are one of those weird things too for me. I don't fuck with ticks.
Yeah. The only other thing he said was most related to detours, they were either new this year due to ice storms taking out trees, or possibly due to sections of trail that were avoided last year due to prior windstorms, but are now entirely open. There was also the active military base that had clearly posted no trespassing signs. He found a longer way around it on the fly instead of following the track. So I wonder if the other people went right through the military base.
Yeah, that's crazy as shit.
Yeah. But anyways, he got credit for it. Congrats to Michael. Pretty cool.
Fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool.
In other news, I came across this just recently on Substack. Someone named Liz Derstine has started a PCT self-supported FKT attempt. I found her feed. She's on day 5. So we will, let's see if she has her mileage.
Day 5. Wait, day. Oh, wait.
Yeah. So 48.6 trail miles today. Look, she's still in the desert, Mount San Jacinto. Yeah, we'll follow her on her journey. Looks like she's putting in some good days here. Looks like she's averaging about 40 to 50 miles a day. Also,
day 4, man. Day 4, she's still eating really good too.
Yeah.
Campsite.
Yeah. Talking about showering for the first time in a while. Yeah. Also, I didn't know this, but Nick Fowler is he's probably almost 2 weeks into a FKT attempt right now on the PCT as well. Last I knew, he was ahead of record pace. I guess for updates, he's being crewed by Josh Perry and Jeff Garmeyer on Instagram. Jeff Garmeyer is a pretty entertaining guy. He has like a podcast that he releases like a YouTube video every now and then. It's pretty funny. But anyways, they are crewing for him. So we'll try to get you updates on Nick Fowler as he is on PCT FKT attempt. Also, John Kelly is, as we mentioned in the beginning, is still just absolutely crushing it. He's 24 days in, I believe. He's in New Jersey. He just cleared Pennsylvania, I think, yesterday. He's making his way through New Jersey. You can look on this map. He is well ahead of Carl's record pace. So if he can keep doing what he's doing, he'll have the northbound record for sure. He's still got the hardest part of the course yet, though.
Yeah.
The mountains in New England are extremely technical. Weather can be bad. They can be stormy, wet, cold. It could be hot. So anything can happen, He's got 16 days to get to Mount Katahdin. So, if he wants to get the overall record, he has to get there in 16 days. I think Tara was 41 days. So
yeah. You and I talked about this. I do really wish that there is a better way to kind of gauge, you know what I mean? Like last week we were joking around, kind of using our thumbnail, right? And so, I mean, let's call it like a 20K. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I mean, dude, he's well over 100K plus in front of the pace.
Yeah. So
I mean, he's 100 miles. He's probably 100 miles plus in front of like the course right now.
So yesterday he was like at 1,300 miles. Today, I believe he said like 1,386 or something. So
yeah.
And also it's been raining like crazy. I guess he's had so much rain. And on his post today, he said that it finally like stopped raining today. So.
Did it? So that's kind of funny because I was just going to say, I think he's getting absolutely, dude. You know what? Let me go back to his tracker. Let me pull the tracker back up. I'm kind of curious. Where's he at again?
He's in New Jersey.
Okay, so he's okay.
Looks like if you had to put it close to a town, let's see here. There's not too many towns.
Yeah.
Harriman, Harriman. Harriman.
Yeah. He's okay. Dude, I think he is getting ready to get rained on. Like, I think there's like, because
that's in New York, Harriman, New York.
Yeah, I think he's getting ready to get more rain, man.
Rain likely.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get more rain over the next couple of days because West Virginia just got absolutely annihilated over the weekend. And so I bet that shit is just trucking right up behind him.
Dude, I'm looking at the weather forecast for Harriman, New York, and it's like, yeah, rain and 64 tonight.
Yeah.
PM showers tomorrow and 80. PM thunderstorms Thursday, but with a high at 88. Friday, it's mostly sunny and 82, kind of nice. Then you get into Saturday, the 21st, 88, 90, 92, 95, 97, and then more rain. So, like, I think he's gonna, after it's done raining, he is gonna have some super hot weather.
Dude, he is getting ready to pay the piper over the next 7 days. Like,
yeah,
the trail gods are going to come a calling. Like, they're going to want their pound of flesh. It's going to be a gnarly 7 days for him.
Yeah. Well, one good thing is he has a lot of experience with adverse weather.
Yeah.
And, like, when he lived in England and he was setting all those FKTs on those trails out there, just getting annihilated with rain and heat, and he did the winter spine. I think he had to drop out the last time he did the winter spine, but
I think
like cold weather. Anyway, all right. Well, we will continue to follow, and hopefully we'll have let's see, in 7 or 8 days from now, he'll be up in the New England mountains proper.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So, all right. Kind of cool. One thing I wanted to talk about was that Ben Gibbard, he's the frontman, the lead singer for Death Cab for Cutie, and he's an ultra runner, and he's been running ultras for a while. I think we may have talked about it a little bit on the show before. Like, one summer, he even hired a trail dude to go on tour with him to, like, scout out trails and run, where are we going to run tomorrow, go on runs with them. And then the guy got to watch the shows, from the side of the stage. So, but anyways, so Ben Gibbard was on the wait list for Western States. He was number 39. He had 32 tickets in the lottery, and he was 39th on the wait list. And they are moving through that wait list.
Dude, they are trucking through that thing.
And like, I think it was like a week ago or a week and a half ago, Western States tweeted, or not tweeted, they Instagrammed Ben Gibbard and said, Benjamin Gibbard from Seattle, Washington, was drawn 39 on the wait list with 32 tickets in the lottery. He is now in the race. And then it says, see you at States at GiveStack, which is Instagram. And he retweeted it as a story and said, or re-Instagrammed it as a story and said, words cannot describe how stoked I am. So that is, like, super cool.
Yeah.
Ben Gibbard. There was an article back in the January Ultrarunning Magazine featuring Ben and talking about how he can juggle training for ultras when he's on tour and all this. And it's pretty interesting. He does, he lives in Seattle. So usually runs like Seattle races like Cascade Crest and Chuckanut. But when he's on tour and training, he does seek out mountains when he can. He knows people too. He knows Gary Robbins up in Vancouver. So if he's in Vancouver, he'll reach out to Gary and go up into the mountains, or just, he reaches out to people he knows and goes on good training runs. But I can't imagine that's easy, man. Like,
no.
I mean, that must be grueling as hell. So, best of luck to Ben Gibbard. He was on Free Trail podcast at one point. Dylan Bowman interviewed him. It was a pretty cool interview. So, I recommend people going back to check that out. Speaking of Western States, another super talented runner who was fourth in 2023 and eighth last year, Jia-Sheng Shen, he sprained his ankle. So he's from China. He sprained his ankle, and he had to withdraw from Western States. So that's unfortunate. He said he was feeling confident and fit, but a little bit unlucky. So he now joins Walmsley, Hayden Hawks, John Ray.
Just a laundry list.
Yeah, so those 4 guys are out, but it does leave the door open. There's still lots of very impressive runners on the men and women's side that are running. And I mean, Killian is obviously going to be the heavy favorite, but and he's actually had some really great training. But anybody can win. Killian is not a heat runner, so we're going to have Cole on the show next week, and we're going to do our picks.
He says he has some deep thoughts too. I'm like, oh shit,
dude. I think we're just going to be like, here's our picks, and then let him run with it, because he's going to really break it down.
Yeah.
I will send you there is the men's and women's previews are out, so
yeah,
I'll send those over to you, and we'll have to try to put some thought into it over the next week or so.
On the nautical, I did order my second pair of Mount the Coast.
Did you order the trail ones?
Yeah.
Is that T1? The T1s?
T1s, yeah. I didn't order them. I told my wife exactly what size, what color to order them for my Father's Day gift. So
nice.
Just to be clear, I want to give credit where credit's due. My lovely wife bought them for me for Father's Day, but I cannot wait. Jen coming through it clutch. I cannot wait to get those things. I ran into my I think the cool kids call them MTCs, because Mount the Coast is a lot.
So they look sharp. I like the way they look.
I got another run into them today, and I'm like, God, these things are just right before we recorded. I went out and got a little jog in.
So you have them?
The road ones. I got.
I knew that. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I cannot tell you how much I love the road ones.
Okay.
Just read it. Anyways. But yeah.
That's great.
T1's coming, baby. Anywho.
I'm looking forward to hearing your review.
The thorough breakdown of them. Yeah.
Also in the news, kind of cool. Ethan Newberry, who everybody knows is a ginger runner, took home an Emmy.
That's crazy. That is wild, really, if you think about it.
He made a documentary that follows Caitlin Gerbin and Jenny Abig on a rugged traverse through the North Cascade mountain range, and it's called the High Route. And he won an Emmy for it. And I'll admit, I have not seen the High Route yet, but I am going to seek it out. I'm a trail running nerd, like as far as watching the trail running videos. So
yeah,
looking forward to checking that out.
It's funny because, like, not that I'm, don't even think I caught Ginger Runner that early on, but like I do remember when Ginger Runner was, quote unquote, just doing like shoe reviews, and like even then he had pretty good like videography, right? It was like pretty well put together and stuff like that, but it wasn't near the level. Like that dude has just absolutely blossomed into a dope ass filmmaker, content maker. But yeah, it was just like basically in a little room in the side of his house, like, all right, well, today, I'm gonna go over these, and he'd give you a quick little breakdown of 2 or 3 pairs of shoes, and that was it. You're like, all right, cool.
He's one of the OGs in the ultra running media space. So gotta give credit where credit's due. But yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool to see him getting an Emmy.
yeah, it is.
All right, let's talk about, man, time is just flying. Let's talk about AJW's article here. Like I said, he does this article every year, intriguing storylines and predictions for the 2025 Western States. The first thing he talks about is the over 70s. This is the first time in race history there's 6 runners age 70 and over that are going to be running Western States. Nick Bassett, who's 80, Michael Copy, 74, Jan Vleck, 72, Ed Wilson, 70, and Jim Howard, 70, and Michael Paletti, 70. Michael Paletti is from France. I think Michael Paletti is one of the co-founders of UTMB. Yep, he is. So, anyway, excuse me. It'll be cool to kind of follow that. Like, I think the 70-year-olds, I think they're just like training their asses off. So I'd like to see him all. And Nick Bassett's 80, man. Like, I would love to see him finish.
Who was the guy who just barely missed it? Was it a blind guy or was it a 70-plus-year-old runner that just missed it by seconds last year?
Well, there was a blind runner 2 years ago.
Is that 2 years? Okay.
Or was it last year? No, it was. I can't remember. It was either last year or the year before. I do believe there was an older runner that just missed it. I think it was a woman. I'd have to look back. Let's circle back on that.
Well,
But I do believe you're right there. Jamil Curry's Western States comeback, and we talked about this kind of at length, how he hasn't gotten much running in besides that huge race, the Mingus Traverse, which was 78 miles. But other than that, he didn't string together too many solid weeks in April or May training for Hard Rock, or training for Western States. He also has Hard Rock on the schedule too. I think, honestly, like, I don't know really what happened, but when he did that Chipotle challenge, I think that crushed him, dude.
I think it fucked him up, man. I think that rocked him more than, you know what I mean? Like, I think that really fucked his feet up. It took it out of his legs.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that did a number on him.
Yeah. So he's, but it looks like AJW has like full faith that Jamil is going to come out and rock it. He had 128 tickets going into the lottery. It says, the last sentence in that part says, and in true Jamil style, he's doing so on the strength of a brief 25-day training block.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard much from Jamil lately, so we'll see. We'll follow him. I'm sure he'll do fine. He's one of these guys that can just jump in a race and just crush it. Heather Jackson had an unorthodox build-up. So Heather Jackson is she's an Ironman triathlete, And in 2022, she kind of came onto the ultra running scene. She ran Javelina 100. And I think she got 5th. She was leading for a while. She got 5th. And, she's training for Western States this year, but she just won this grueling 350-mile bike race through Kansas called Unbound Gravel XL. It's a gravel race through Kansas. So he's saying her preparations are unorthodox, but you can't help but root for her to break top 10. She finished 7th at States last year. So the role of media is his other storyline. And basically says, media coverage in 2001 was like one reporter from Sacramento Bee and one reporter from Auburn Journal. He said by the time he ran in his last Western States in 2014, I Run Far was on. And I remember when I Run Far was there tweeting out, tweeting out coverage. And then, now it's just like media coverage is like completely exploded. Ultra Running News Network is not there, but we didn't get a media pass. I couldn't make it out there this year anyways, but I do like on normal years when we lived in San Francisco, I would, go out there just to watch Michigan Bluff in the finals. Like it's really, really an exciting atmosphere there. But anyways, the role of media is his other storyline. Now his race predictions. Here's AJW's predictions. He says there's no clear favorites in the men's or the women's field. Because Walmsley and Katie Scheid are both not coming back. And then here's his picks for the men. He's got Killian in first, Rod Farvard second, which, Rod Farvard got second last year. He's a hard charging dude. Adam Peterman third. So Adam Peterman is on his comeback tour from his injury, and he's won Western States. So Daniel Jones, he's a Kiwi runner, and he's really strong. He does well at Western States every year. Caleb Olson. So Caleb Olson is the 50-mile world record holder. He's the guy that set the world record at Tunnel Hill for the 50-mile. He's young. I don't know how well he is on hillier courses, and this is it's a net downhill course with 23,000 feet of descent, but there's still over 18,000 feet of climbing. I mean, it's not a cupcake. And then he has Jia-Sheng Shen in sixth, but as we all know, Jia-Sheng Shen,
we know that ain't going to happen.
Rolled his ankle and is not coming. For the women, he's got Tara Dower in first, and she's been training her ass off. I think that's a pretty solid pick. But we'll see what Cole has to say. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about it. He was pretty good with his picks last time we did them too. Yeah. For was it Canyons? I believe it was Canyons.
I think so.
And then Emily Hawgood, who she lives in that area, and she won Canyons, right, to get her golden ticket. Esther Seelig, who's awesome at Western States every year. Fuzhou Cheng, also. Abby Hall for fifth, and Marianne Hogan for sixth. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. He always does his beer of the week too.
Yeah.
He said
that gummy worm sounds good.
Gummy worm, sweet tasting hazy.
That doesn't sound bad. I mean, it can definitely be too sweet, but that doesn't sound bad at all.
Not at all. All right. Let's quickly run through the stats from May from Ultrarunning Magazine. In May, there were 339 ultra races, 14,244 finishers, 3,746 first timers. The biggest races were Sulphur Springs Trail Race in Ontario, 50K, it was 316 finishers. Miwok was in California in Marin County, 100K, 260 finishers. Wild Horse Traverse in British Columbia, 52K, that's 232 finishers. Sulphur Springs Trail Race in Minnesota, 226 finishers. And that was the 50K. And also Sulphur Springs Trail Race in Ontario, which had the largest one, 50K. They also had a pretty large 100K at 226 finishers. Ice Age Trail 50K, 207. Rock the Ridge, New York, 50 mile, 201. Ice Age Trail 50 and 196. Cocodona, 250, 192 finishers. And North Fork 50 mile in Colorado and 50K. The 50K had 189 finishers. The top 50K time, Allison Ray at the full Mo was 3 hours and 44. Jonathan Aziz at 50K at the Greenland Trail Races in 309. 50 mile, Diane Rothy, Sugar Badger in 7 hours and 23. Gregory Close, Rock the Ridge, 552. Or no, I'm sorry, 555. The 100K, Karen Holland at Sulphur Springs, 955. And Robert Brullier, Sulphur Springs, 807. At the 100-mile distance, Molly Herford in Sulphur Springs, 1722. And Alec Klein. Didn't Alec Klein win Mohican?
Yeah.
So yeah. Alec Klein did the High Lee. I believe that he did the 100-miler or the 24-hour, but they're showing him a 14:04 100-miler at High Lee. And I think that was the weekend after Mohican. So
what?
I think so. Yeah. Alec, A-L-E-C, last name C-L-I-N-E. If you could look that up.
A-L-E-C C-L-I-N-E.
Yeah. If you could check him out on Ultra Sign Up. Then in the 24-hour, Colleen Drahos from Dusk to Dawn Track Ultras, 118 miles. And Pete Kostelnick, Dawn to Dusk to Dawn Track Ultras, 154.6 miles. Damn, he crushed that 24-hour. Holy shit.
Alec, how do you spell his last name?
C-L-I-N-E.
He's not in Ultra Sign Up. A-L-E-C, right?
Yeah.
A-L-E-C. He is not in Ultra Sign Up.
I think I found him. He just did Eagle Up Ultra June 7th. So that was a week and a half ago. 13 hours and 37 minutes for the overall win at the 100-miler.
How'd you spell his name?
A-L-E-C space C-L-I-N-E. And then at the High Lee, he did May 17th, 14:04, and he won that. Running with the Nomis 50K, May 10th. He did, he won that 50K. Georgia Death Race, he got third. He's had quite a year, man.
Yeah.
First at Get Lucky 50-50. Holy crap. First at Super Bowl Championships 50K. First at Rocks and Roots 50K. And first at Lake of the Woods 50K. And first at Rocks and Roots 50K in January.
Yeah, but I mean, taking first at Rocks and Roots. I mean,
first at Night Owl Trail Marathon, half and 10K marathon. First at Bigfoot 50K. First at Jackson Ultras 100K. This is last year. First at Regal Beagle 50K. Loop Lake first. Conquer the Castle first. IT 100 fourth. Man.
Dude, stacking up a year.
He he is like podiumed a lot of shit. His ultra sign-up rank is 85.7. His age rank's 92.6. Who won Mohican?
He did.
Alec Klein?
I thought so.
Yeah, Alec Klein. That's not in ultra sign-up for some reason. Mohican's not.
It's because dragging his feet to get it in there.
Damn, man. He is just on fire.
Yeah.
A lot of flat stuff, but I mean, I need to come out and win Mohican, so I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into 3Ts real quick here. We're going to make this one fast because we're already an hour and 15 in.
Yeah.
All right, so our 3Ts is the night before. And I'm not talking about the Christmas movie with Seth Rogen, which is really funny, by the way.
Such a great movie, actually.
Oh, my God. Nonstop laughter. We're talking about the night before a big race. All right, like what do you do? What are your rituals? Like, what's your dinner look like? What's going to bed look like? Are you going to sleep? Are you going to take sleep aids? Are you going to have all your shit ready, laid out? Or are you just going to like wing it and get ready in the morning? You go ahead, man.
So I will say, like, I definitely have all my drop bags done, right? Like 100% have my drop bags done. I do have my, whatever shorts, shoes, socks, I have my initial gels, food, calorie, all that shit. I have all that done and laid out. I will say this. I am not much of a, for me, I want very simple pasta and basically grilled chicken. In a perfect world, I'll have pasta, no sauce on it, some grilled chicken and some spinach. And that's probably about it. And then I'm going to lay down somewhere around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. If I don't, I don't. But I'm gonna get off my feet. I'm gonna be horizontal. Much above and beyond that, I don't have a certain meal I eat. I'm not. This will also sound silly. I'm not overly worried about getting carbs in or getting hydrated or anything like that because it's a fucking 100 miles. Like it doesn't matter if you carb load. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say that. Maybe it does, but I'm not going to overly worry about it. You know what I mean? Because so that's mine. Like mine.
I think it's more important
simple.
throughout the week, like really to carb load and catch up on sleep.
You know who had a great. I don't know how much you heard him talk about. Pete was talking about like how much food he was supposed to be eating because he like that dude. He had a dietitian, and his dietitian was like, "Hey, listen, you need to eat this amount of carbs," and it was fucking gross. It was gluttonous, dude.
Like the week of the race?
No, it started
or during the race.
No. The week before the race.
Okay.
It started off I don't know if it started a full week before or a handful of days before, but it basically started off and it was just, I mean, a disgusting amount of food he was supposed to be putting into his mouth hole. And to the point where he said that his dietitian said, when you show up to the starting line, you should be bloated. You should be like distended and have a gut. Like you should have gained weight. Yeah, it was fucking nuts. And now, like what's funny is now for me, I'm just like, you know what? Like I'll eat some simple stuff and go to bed. You know what I mean? Like that's just me. I probably don't put enough into it actually.
Well, I mean, I keep it as simple as possible the night before. Like, as far as food goes, I mean, I'll eat potatoes, you know, maybe like a light stir fry, you know, just super simple and basic, you know, maybe like an avocado sandwich or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have made that mistake, especially with my digestive system. You know, I can't really handle like pasta and that kind of stuff the night before a race. It'll give me problems. You know, can't handle like legumes. You know, try to keep it light on the grains. Yeah, pretty much just extremely simple. Fruit, potatoes, you know, just avocado, maybe some bread. I don't know, just as simple as possible. And I try to eat early, you know, like an early dinner to give that food time to digest before the next morning. Also, I love to have all my stuff done like as early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Drop bags. I have all my running clothes laid out, you know, the stuff I'm going to need. You know, I'll even like make a list. Like I'll make a list of like, you know,
I'm not at all surprised by that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, just to give myself a peace of mind. You know, that helps me relax when I lay down. Now, I've never had much luck at getting to sleep the night before a 100-miler or a lot of races, even 50-milers or 50K, you know. I don't know. It's just this natural anxiety that I just can't get rid of. Even if my mind is like completely at ease, I just, I don't know. I just like lay there. I do try to not drink much caffeine that last day too, you know, try to get coffee done early in the morning so I can get sleep. If I do get sleep though, it's like you sleep for an hour or two, then you wake up, it's like 11:30 at night and you're like, I'm wide awake, it's time to go. And then you're like, oh wait, it's 11:30. Then it takes like hours to get back to sleep. Once you do get back to sleep, then it's like, boom, your alarm's going off. So, but this last race, I mentioned this on the show before, Mountain Lakes, I laid down and just had this Netflix documentary on about these rock climbers. And I started watching that. And honestly, like by the end of that, I was like pretty tired. And I just like turned it off and went to sleep. I think I got a good solid like 4.5 hours maybe, which is a record for a 100-miler.
Yeah.
Getting like 4.5 hours of sleep that maybe just was interrupted just to get up to go to the bathroom. But I was like pretty happy with that. But yeah, I think it's helpful to be organized. You don't want to be rushing around the night before, like trying to put your drop bags together, you know, trying to like go over with your crew. Like if you're not prepared, like if I have a crew, I have everything for them. Like, you know, this is what you need to bring to this aid station. Here's the time frame I expect to be there. You know, just like I have as much prepared for them as possible to make it easy for them. Which is not always easy to predict, as you know.
Yeah. It's just so funny how different you and I are. Because it's like, I'll be there. I don't fucking if I know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, let's do some math real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, what do you want us to have there? There's a fucking drop bag, man. Just grab the drop bag. We'll be good.
Well, like my boy Lucas, my mentor that got me into ultra running, he is like the complete opposite of me. Like he's like, just worry about it in the morning, you know, that kind of guy. Like, you know, just get up and throw his shit in his truck, start it out at the start line. Like,
it is like, it's like I do strongly dislike. I do strongly dislike the late in the afternoon. Well, late afternoon is not bad. The evening time frame, pre-race shit, I fucking hate that. I hate, dude, like, cause like, and like, again, this might be a little bit of a jaded kind of outlook on it because like I get it, not everyone's done it. You know what I mean? Like there's first timers and new folks. But like, will there be water crossings? Is there wildlife on the course?
Dude, honestly,
motherfucker, you're in rural ass, you know, I mean, like wherever. Yeah, there's wildlife. What the fuck? You know, and like for me, I just like I hate those things. So on that note, I'm like, yeah, I hate it. I want to get everything done. I want to get all sorted out of the way. I want to drop my drop bags at the start line or wherever. I want to go grab dinner and I want to go back to wherever I'm going back to and be off my feet.
Please, race directors, if you're listening to this, do not have mandatory pre-race meetings like past 2:00 on a Friday, on the day before the race. Like, I can't stand it either. Like, I want to be winding down at 5:00. I don't want to be sitting there listening to everybody's dumb questions. Like, you know, like you said. I mean, some of it's important, but honestly, everything should be in the race packet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like an insurance thing that they have to have those, you know what I mean? But like you brought up a good point. You know what? Don't have mandatory race meetings. Stop. If my dumb ass wants to go out there and get fucking lost because I didn't show up to your pre-race meeting and I don't know if I'm following pink or yellow flags, that's fucking on me. Let my dumb ass go out there and get lost.
That's true.
Let me go get lost. I ain't gonna be mad about it. Fuck it. What am I going to say?
Or record it so we can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. Like God intended in 2025.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a big fan of pre-race briefings. Yeah. Unless they're like 10 minutes before the race.
Speaking of pre-race meetings, this will tie this, like we can wrap it up here if you want to, because I'll take this full circle all the way back to one of the first races we talked about. Old Dominion, maybe one of the longest, most agonizing, grueling pre-race meetings ever, because they do the full history of the race.
They do medical checks too, right?
They do they weigh your ass.
See,
like, you have to weigh in.
Western states quit doing that because the science doesn't support it.
Old Dominion is like, we don't give a shit. We like it. It's old. You weigh in at that race, and then you weigh again at mile 47, and you weigh again at mile 75 to make sure that you're not burning or holding on to fluids. Like, it's wild. But like, dude, they're pre-race. Their pre-race, and their pre-race is in a barn, like a metal pool barn on the fairgrounds.
It can be hot in there.
Hot as fuck in there. It's so fucking hot, and you're just in there, and it's on uncomfortable ass fold out chairs.
Oh, of course.
And they have people from like the National Park Service come in and talk about fire safety, and they talk about this, and like you're just like, oh my God, come on. Like, what are we doing?
You're like, maybe if this was air conditioning, I could just go to sleep.
Dude, and like I have to get up and walk around. Like, I can't sit in this seat. So But anywho, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, man. Be organized, be prepared, put your mind at ease so you can rest well, because that's the most important thing the night before is just getting rest. And having your mind at ease. Keep your food choices simple. Don't eat anything too crazy. I don't think you need massive carbs the night before. I think that's an old school.
And it's like marathon stuff, right? Like that's like if you're running a marathon. That's if you're going to be done in 4 hours, right? Like if you're going to be done in 4 hours, carb load up, and like you're also like I don't know.
The best show about carb loading was The Office. When Michael Scott did the race for the cure for rabies. He's like, isn't there already a cure? And he's like eating fettuccine Alfredo. He's like smashing it. Like next day he's like puking
about it. Oh my God.
Like the funniest part in that episode is when Michael like runs by Creed, and Creed's like, "That's my boss," and
my boss.
And as soon as he goes by him, Creed jumps into a taxi.
I also love the go on, just leave me. And like,
Yeah.
and like the video pans up and like, isn't that the finish line right there? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's within like rolling distance. Like you're gonna, like that fucking show kills me. I love that show.
The best, man. The best. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. It's good to be back, and tune in next week. We got some other maybe not so fun news stories to talk about, but on the fun side, we have Cole coming on the show.
Cole coming back on
to do our Western States picks and our Western States preview.
To school us all on picks again.
That's right. That's right. We felt small in comparison,
dude,
but
he has done all the homework. He is still he is dialing in as we speak.
He has done the homework, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. So hope everyone has a great weekend when you get to it, and have a good long run or whatever you're doing. And we'll see you next week.
See y'all later. Yep. Thank you.